You're listening to the OMG Hour.
Welcome, everybody, to episode number 351 of the OMG Hour. This is the delayed show. Apparently, our video is completely delayed today, even on my side. Don't know why, but I am Sean Evans, otherwise known as Zion Tane.
Yes. Normally, I'm the only delayed one, but Sean felt like he needed to jump in and
Listen,
steal some of my thunder.
I was jealous. I needed to be delayed as well.
You know what it is? It's a Friday the 13th thing. That's what it is. I am Mr. Second Place here on the spookiest of Christmas holidays, Friday the 13th.
Yes, welcome. We are back. Last week, of course, we were not here because we were down in Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged. And we're going to talk about PAX Unplugged a little bit here. We have another show. If you want to go back to our YouTube channel, we have a good hour-long discussion of some of the stuff we saw. And, our overall experience of PAX Unplugged. It was our first time there. My first time in Philadelphia. Now, Tico, I didn't ask. Was that your first time in Philly as well?
I think so.
You think so? I'm not.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I was too drunk last time I was there.
No. I'm just trying to remember. I've been to Boston. I've been to New York. I'm just trying to remember if I'd ever been to Philly before. But no, that was my first Philly experience, because now we know that you have to shorten everything there.
Yeah.
Because
exactly. Philly, Penn.
Doesn't fit on.
Nothing
doesn't
fits
fit on any
signs.
of their signs. Yeah.
Yeah. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia all have to be shortened to Philly and Penn, which is funny. Yeah. So look for our review show there, or our PAX Unplugged, kind of overview. But, there's still some games we didn't actually get to talk about because, like I said, it was an hour long and we saw some really great games.
There's some fun stuff.
I don't know if we said it on Monday or not, but I think I actually enjoyed Unplugged more than PAX East.
I think so too. I think a couple of the things. It was a smaller, more intimate event. I mean, I didn't feel like I got bumped a few times, but you didn't feel.
Yeah, you weren't being bumped because the aisles were wider because it's smaller event, I think, but also in a bigger building.
Yes.
We're talking 14,000. We did 14,000 steps pretty much every day walking around there.
Day.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's a smaller event. So you felt less crowded.
Yeah.
It's also I think you mentioned, the bells and whistles, like the shiny and the loud speakers and everything is not how they pitch board games. It was it was basically ambient noise that we had.
Yeah, it was great.
The other thing is, I think that I enjoy the board game side of it a bit more because it's stuff that you can put your hands on. You can sort of get excited about. There's a few things that we saw that we're going to have to obviously wait for, but the video game things, we've seen video game stuff at PAX 3 years ago that's still not out.
Yeah, that's what's nice about this, because most of the stuff we're seeing is available now.
Yeah,
and it's a different thing than video games, where by the time video games are out, when we see it at something like PAX East, it's well, why are you showing me something either that has been out a month already or I've already got? You want to see stuff that's not out yet, stuff that's coming. Board games are different because there's thousands of board games and you don't get to experience them all, You get to experience fewer board games, I think, than we would typically video games, And so it's exciting to go in and actually see games that are being sold right there. Hey, come down, play a demo of this game, and if you want it, you can buy it right now.
Yeah. Of this full game too. I think that's the other thing with video games. It's here's a teaser of what we're working on. Board game people don't do that. Here's the whole thing of what we're building. Mm-hmm. We want you to buy this. We have some right here. Take some, please.
With the exception of
the sales.
Yeah, with the exception, of course, Kickstarter games, which we did see as well. And we talked about one of them. But let's talk about a few of the games we saw.
Sure.
Let's start at the top. I think one of the ones we really, really liked, and it was on day one. I think I have the box right here. I pulled in... I bought a game. Let me see if I can pull this up. It's heavy. because I got all my games in it.
Oh, you got your game case.
I got my game bag.
Such a good deal on that game bag too. I'll be honest with you, that is a great deal.
I can't see the screen, but there's a game
Yeah, you can
bag.
see the whole thing.
Yeah, this game bag opens up, and you can put. Oh, I'm knocking the. I'm away from the mic. All right, look. You can. You can stuff
Not the best setup to show it, but
no. You can stuff a whole ton of games in there. You know, this bag was $35. I thought it was a really good deal.
And it's got backpack straps and everything.
It's got a handle. It's got a shoulder strap, and on the back of it, as Tico just ruined for y'all.
Oh, I didn't know it was a surprise.
There's backpack. You can wear this thing like a backpack. You know, and then there's also a pass-through here that you can put on your luggage. So you can put on like your roller bag. You know, if you're taking it to the airport or you're traveling with it. $35 from Board Game Tables. Is that right?
I can't remember. Board game bags, board game something.
Boardgametables.com.
Okay, I'm a little actually. I'm kicking myself. I should have gotten one of those as well. I didn't because
I'm kind of surprised you didn't. To be honest,
I just didn't even think about it at the time. Like you got one, and I'm like, as we're driving, I'm like, I probably should have got one of those bags because that was such a good deal.
There was two of them. There was a $25 one that was gray and had like orange accents on it, which I actually really liked. And that was $25. And then the $35 one, which is the one I just showed you, is that blue color. I wasn't as crazy about the color. I mean, it's growing on me now that I have it. But I bought it because it holds more. It's a stronger fabric, and it's the newer bag. So I think the other one holds 40 pounds. This one holds like 50 or 60 pounds. I thought, I'll get the more sturdy one. It'll last longer. But anyway, boardgametables.com. You can order these bags, and I thought it was great. They're for $35. I might as well, right?
Yeah, I should have got one. I'm kicking myself now. Can I have yours?
No. You may not. So one of the games we saw, I think it was on day one, we saw this game. It was early, and it was one of the games that we couldn't stop thinking about all weekend. You know?
Yeah, this was by GameWick.
It's called Shuffling Horror. And so the one I have here is called Roswell 51. And this was the second release in the Shuffling Horror series. And why don't you explain what Shuffling Horror is, Tico?
So it is basically a B movie played out as a card game. You got the Roswell 51. I've actually got Pittsburgh 68, which was their first release. The Roswell 51 has like a game board and everything like that. It's not required. It just makes it easier for the setup and everything like that. You're basically playing a B movie in reels. So basically reel 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then so you'll face off as cards are drawn. You'll face off against different enemies. The one Sean's got obviously is all of the tropes from the B movie space invaders type B movie stuff. Plan 9 from Outer Space, like all of that really cool graphics. It's all done sort of black and white cards. Really neat concept. Pittsburgh 68 is a Night of the Living Dead themed. They've got Innsmouth 32, which is a Cthulhu themed one coming out soon.
Can't wait for that. I love Cthulhu. See, so we got these for review. He actually handed both of them to us, which was fabulous. And I immediately took the Roswell because I'm a huge sci-fi fantasy geek, and I know Tico loves more horror. Like Tico's more of a horror fan than
everything.
I know you do, but you love horror-themed stuff way more than I do. So I just immediately said, here you go, Tico. Here's the Pittsburgh one. And, I didn't do it on purpose, but I didn't realize that there was no board in yours. Like this one has a game board itself.
Yeah, it's not required. Interesting thing, too, is it's the Shuffling Horror system that they're using as well. So these games can be combined as well. So you can mash up your own B movie if you want and have aliens and zombies. Coming at you. And when you got Innsmouth coming out, so you can have Cthulhu tied in. And then they've got a fourth one that's in the works called Baltimore 94.
Right.
Which is a Edgar Allan Poe themed one coming, and I don't know the exact dates of that. We'll we'll try to get some more information on that.
Yeah.
But I am looking forward because
Innsmouth
we are
is
actually
coming next.
yeah. I'm looking forward to doing this because we're going to put together a let's play for this.
Yes, we are.
I think we're gonna have some fun with this. Maybe we'll even try mixing them up a little bit and see how that works.
That'll be fun. The next game we played. Let's see if I find it down here in my box. Oh, goodies! Why don't you start talking about it there, Kiko?
All right. So the next game we played is a game called Similo. This comes in two different flavors. There is Similo Fables and Similo History. It's a very small little, just a card game. It is like a mix of Guess Who and Codenames.
Yes,
that's not their tagline. That's what we played through this quite a bit, and that was our sort of takeaway of this. It's like a Guess Who. So the concept of this game, you deal out. There's a number of cards, and again we have the. This is the Fables version that they were kind enough to give us, and we'll play out some of this stuff on a show for you as well. But this one here has absolutely beautiful art of all of these characters from Grimm fairy tales.
Grimm. Yeah.
It's all the stuff. It's all the characters that you'd know from the Disney movies, but they're not the Disney movie characters because they'd have to pay out licensing. So like, there's Aladdin, but it's Aladdin from 1001 Arabian Nights.
That's right, which is nice because every card actually tells you who the character is and where they're from,
and the year of too. And it's great seeing like Cinderella, like 1906, like realizing that these stories are that old.
That's right. So I'm going to pull out some of them. Actually, one of my favorites because it's my daughter's absolute favorite character. Let me try to find her in here. The artwork is just amazing.
I think this is what grabbed us walking by.
She's near the bottom. Of course she is.
Yeah, we saw this artwork walking by, and that's what grabbed us first about this game.
That's the Little Mermaid character.
Yeah.
It looks a lot younger than even Ariel in the movies.
But it's not Ariel in the movies.
But if you look at, of course, Ursula, which is not Ursula in the books, she's the Sea Witch. This is what the Sea Witch looks like, also from the Little Mermaid. Right? And the artwork is just fantastic for all of these. There's Little Red Riding Hood, for example, It's just, all of it is fantastic. So the idea basically is you lay out 12 of them face up, and you the person who is going to give the clues chooses one of those 12, just mentally picks one. And then you have 5 cards in your hand, and only using those cards can you give clues to the guesser. You cannot say anything about it. So you may be looking at the card thinking one thing, saying, hey, this, and you play the card face up like this, like normal portrait style, if this character is like the one you've chosen, or you play it sideways if it is not like the character chosen. But you cannot say what it isn't like that character. So if I played Little Red Riding Hood and said it's not like Little Red Riding Hood, maybe I'm saying, well, this character doesn't have a hood, or this character is not a girl, or whatever. It could be anything. Like if you play an animal, maybe it's not an animal, or maybe it's somebody from that series.
From that,
right? Maybe it's you're playing the fox from Little Red Riding Hood. Maybe you're saying the character you've chosen is from Little Red Riding Hood. Right? Or you could be saying the character I've chosen is an animal.
Yeah. So each round, from the first round, you'll have to eliminate one card that you think is definitely not the secret character. Second round is 2, third round is 3, fourth round is 4, and you'll be left with only 2 cards after that, having to pick from those 2 as to who is the secret character if you make it that far.
That's right. Really fun. Like we played this. We were back at our Airbnb and we pulled it out. We started playing because you had bought a copy. And I really had fun with it. We just kept playing over and over. It's like, okay, more. Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
We must have played like 10 rounds of this,
if not more.
If not more. So there's the Fables we both really took to. There's also a history edition. The art in the history edition was also very good. You've got characters like Napoleon Bonaparte, Abraham Lincoln, Cleopatra, and all those. Also, absolutely beautiful art in that. You can mix the decks together as well. If you want to sort of like the super version of this.
We played the history one on demo there. It was a lot harder to play than the Fables. I found it
Yeah,
much
because
harder to really pick the right clue.
yeah,
And these aren't
yeah, it
they're not
was
expensive games. I think it was $10 for a
it
pack of
was it
Similo Fables.
yes. Yeah,
So
can't recommend that one enough. It is a really fun game, and it can be played multiple people as well. So like you have one clue giver, and then you can have like 5, 6 people as the collective,
right, yeah,
guessers, and they have to come to a consensus as to who they're going to eliminate. So it can be a fun party game or two-player game.
it is, and it is a lot of fun, and it's very easy to get into. The rules are simple, and you can just dive in and play it. So I mean, this is going to be a good game for our New Year's Day game fest. I think
Yes,
that's going to
yes,
be fun.
absolutely.
All right, let's look for Kapow. This is a game called Kapow, and this is from White Wizard Games. Actually, it's from Two Ton Porcupine, but White Wizard was showing it. So this isn't
Is publishing it, I believe.
Yeah, they must be publishing it. Anyway, Kapow is a superhero-themed battle game. Let's try to get the thing. There we go. So you are playing the character of a superhero, and each of you have a play card, and it's all done through dice rolls. So it is a dice building. So you know how we have deck building games. This takes the idea of deck building to dice. This is a dice building game. So you're going to collect dice. You're going to actually customize dice too. So you have the was it the ability die or the action die?
The action die, which is a bigger die that you actually draw faces out of a pool and actually place them into the die. So it'll be a blank die to start, and you can draw different faces and attach them and create your own custom die as you go through.
Right. So it's hard to explain without actually seeing it, but we are going to do a review of this in a Let's Play. But essentially, you have 3 lanes. One is your attack, one is your defense, and one is your special powers. And as you roll the dice, you start with X number of dice, and they have symbols on them. And then you place those symbols in the slots that call for specific symbols. And that, if you could put those 2 symbols together, it's essentially an action, like damage. You're hitting for 2, and then maybe I put dice in the slot that says I'm going to defend for 3, and then I may have other in the 3rd slot. I may put some dice that allows me to choose a new face for my power dice.
Yes.
And that's essentially you have screens in front of you, so you can't see what your opponent is doing. It's a head-to-head game. So you roll your dice, you place them on the board where you're matching the proper symbols in order to do actions. And then when you're both done, you pull your screens away and say, okay, I'm attacking you, Tico, for 2. And Tico say, okay, well, I defended for 2, so it's a draw. But then he may attack for 3, and if I only defend for 2, I take 1 damage.
Right.
Okay. And the object is to bring your opponent down from 40 to 0.
20.
Was it 20? Did we start at
20?
I think the board...
We started at 20.
Yeah, but we started at 20, but I think the board goes to like 40 or 60.
Yeah, I think for custom. I think it's for 2-player games. It's 30 for 2-player games.
Ah, there you go. And then, of course, the 3rd one is just whatever I've chosen to do. It may be like... swap a face on your power dice, or get a new action die or something.
Yeah, draft new die, or it's about building. That's about building your resources, really.
Right.
We played this there. I actually had even though you beat me at the last second.
Okay, so Tico was winning quite a bit. He was doing really well. I was down to like 6, and he was still at, I think, 14 or something. And then suddenly because I was building my dice. I was doing more about building the dice up. I suddenly got an amazing roll that took something like 15 damage from you in 1 hit. And it was game over. You couldn't defend it.
I did not have enough defense, and Sean, because he had lower health, he went first, so he initiated his actions first. So he attacked first. And killed him. But it was even with that, with the back and forth that we had, it was really fun to sort of feel how the dynamics went of I gotta build this up. Do I go heavy at attacking first, heavy on defense and blocking that damage, or do I really spend a lot of my my resources, basically your dice every time you roll them, your resources in building up and getting more die.
Yeah, that particular round, like, it was literally just the luck of the dice, because
Yeah.
I managed to get a slot on the attack that was an attack +2 or double attack, and then
Yeah.
so you have your base attack, which is 1 through 4 or 5, right?
Yeah.
And then you can add to that. You have to have a base attack and a base defense. But then there's sections below where you can add to that attack or defense if you have the right dice.
Right.
So I believe
Attack modifier.
I hit you for like 3. I think
Yeah.
this is what happened. I hit you for 3, but then I had a +2 times 2, right?
Yeah.
So it became a 5 times 2, and I hit you for 10. I think it was something more like 12 or 13 I hit you for. I can't remember, but it was pretty big. And you were only defending for like 1. And it was just like, it was game over. So
yeah, but it's still
fun.
super fun. I do wish for a rematch.
We'll do a rematch live on camera or something.
Yes, because the first one wasn't on camera, so it didn't count.
Obviously. Hopefully when these Friday the 13th isn't here and the delay is done.
Yes.
It's crazy. All right, why don't you talk about the next one? Because I think,
yes.
I don't know if you have it available close by.
It's behind me. I'm going to see if I can reach it. Hang on.
All right, so the next one is actually called Draftosaurus. And this is, you are the curator of a dinosaur zoo. And you can play, I think we played 4 players in our demo.
We did.
Yeah. And the idea is every round there is a die. Okay, so let's go back to the park itself. The park is actually split into essentially 4 types of zones. You have your grass, you have your gravel, then you have your, what do they call, the restroom side and the park entrance side?
There's a restroom and the cafeteria side.
Cafeteria.
Food court.
Food court. So you have your food court, which is essentially the left half of the board. You have your restrooms, which is the right half of the board. But then you have your grasslands, which is the top half of the board. And you have your sand or gravel, which is the bottom half of your board. So each of the zones overlap each other. What you do is you roll a die every round. And that round for everyone except the one who rolled it is the only part of the park you cannot put a dinosaur in that round. So it limits what you can do.
No, it's where you have to, what the dice is where you do have to put it.
Where you have to put it. Sorry, my apologies.
Yes. There are a couple of die that do limit it, saying like you can't place this where there's a T-Rex.
Right.
Or you can't place this where there is another dinosaur.
So each zone in the park has basically different points associated to them if you achieve the goal of that zone. The idea is to, every round you're placing dinosaurs, and there's like, what, was it 8 dinosaurs total we played? So 8 rounds?
It was 6 the first time. So you draw out 6, and then you pass them into, and then you draw out another 6.
Okay, so by the time you're done, oh, that's right. So you have 6 dinosaurs in your hands. You can only choose 1, and then you pass it around to the next player to your left. Right. And that's why it's called Draftosaurus. It's like building, you're drafting. You take 1 and pass it on. Then you have another pool to choose from the person on your right. And basically at the end, you total up your points and see how well you did. And the one who manages to capture the most points based on where they place dinosaurs is the winner. I thought it was fun. I think it's a great family game, a great like games night game. It doesn't take long to play. I think maybe 15 minutes.
Maybe 15 minutes. It's fun. The components, the dinosaurs themselves are little carved wood pieces.
Yeah.
Look really cute. It's a well put together game. Small box, easy to tote around, and really quick and easy setup. It was fun to do. Like it was that sort of quick a quick game to play, and something you could easily play with the family and kids. I really liked it, to be honest with you. I really had fun with that one.
Yeah. 2 more games we want to talk about, and then we're going to move on, which is probably good timing. One is City Skylines. Now, most of you are probably already aware of City Skylines. It is a video game. It's like a Sim City type game, But Cosmos, who are the creators of things like Exit and the adventure game, which we talked about on Monday, they have created a board game version of City Skylines. It's sort of like a party game where you all work together to build up the city on a board. And it starts with several boards, but they're upside down, and you have to purchase the land, first of all, and then start developing it. And you develop it with roads, you develop it with like a hospital or some residential areas, and it costs resources. It also, some things could cost happiness. The idea is literally like the video game, but in board game style, where you're trying to raise population, you're trying to raise happiness in the city, you're trying to also make money so that you can build more things. We didn't actually play the game, but we talked about it. We saw how it would work. And I'm hoping we can get a review of this, Tico, because I'm actually really fascinated with this game.
I'm intrigued by it. It looked really cool. I am intrigued to see how it plays out as a game. I've actually played the video game,
right?
And I enjoyed the video game. I'm intrigued to see how this plays out as a board game.
As a board game, what I thought would be fantastic, because in this game, all of the units that you place are just little tiles. They're little cardboard tiles. So
yes.
If it's a residential area, it's just a tile that you place. If it's a hospital, it's just a tile that you place. Different sizes, much like the game, and they have to fit where they go. What would be so cool is if even a third party developed 3D miniatures for each of these things, so that as you're building the city, it actually comes to life in 3D.
Yeah, and
that would be really cool.
Well, and when you look at the board sideways, it actually
looks like a city.
A skyline.
Exactly. That would be really sweet. And it would be like to size. If you're placing the stadium, it's a pretty big tile, it should be like the size of a stadium in the city. Or if you're building commercial area, maybe a couple of them are like sky rises, So it'll start looking like the downtown core of a city.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's cost prohibitive for them to sort of make that as a regular edition or something like that. But make a super special edition for like, the ultra rich people, not us, but
That's right. And one final game I think you really enjoyed.
Yeah, this is also by Cosmos. A game called Roll for Adventure. Do you have the box?
I have the box right here.
He has the box right there. So this is it's another similar. It's a dice. It's sort of like a dice draft, not drafting, but a dice. So you have to open these portals, and you do that by rolling basically Yahtzee. Thing. So like I need to open this area to unlock this thing. I've got a place, and you'll roll, and you'll take turns. So I'll roll. You need to place a 1, 2, 3, 4 in this spot in order to open up this area, in order to be able to claim this thing, in order to be able to sort of what are they called? I forget what they call the magical things.
Oh, okay. It's a good question.
Crystals.
Yeah, it's like, again, we didn't play it, but we did sort of see an overview of it.
Yeah,
it really looked interesting. I loved the idea of it. I know you were really fascinated with it as well. And you do take damage in this game because there's sort of like you're playing against the world, right? And the world, even if you get all the dice in the place where you need them to be, there might be an event card that pulls some of them out into the vortex.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sorry, I haven't opened it yet.
Let's just call them victory
points
nodes for now. But so you create those. Your enemies will come out and they'll be played into the zone. So you've got an ice zone and an earth zone and a fire zone and desert zone, I think.
Yep.
As most planets only have the 4 zones. So
in Star Wars, the whole planet is a zone.
That's 4 separate planets in Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
And so the enemies will be played. So like you'll have an ice wolf that'll come out, and every time the ice wolf attacks, his attacks he takes the highest die off of the zone that you're trying to to complete.
Sure.
And you can now beat that guy. The Ice Wolf was like, it'll have like a 2 and a 3 on him. So you have to do use a 2 and a 3 to clear him off the board. So you have to waste your turn essentially. Instead of clearing the zones, you have to use that to get rid of the enemy if you wish to get rid of them.
Yeah. So it was, this is the one game that I know when he was explaining it to us.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, that is fascinating. But we didn't get a lot of detail about it.
Right. Yeah.
And we haven't played it yet. Some like things like Kapow and Similo, and even the Shuffling Horror, we played them.
Yeah,
we actually played like several rounds of these games. So, but with Roll for Adventure, we knew that we were like really excited about the game, but we didn't actually play it. So there's a lot of details that I just don't have in my head about that game.
So that's the beauty of us getting to actually get together and film some gameplay videos of these.
Yes, and we've got quite a few games we actually brought home with us for review. So we look for those on the channel for some boxing videos and some Let's Plays and stuff. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Okay, that I think is enough for PAX East. I had a fantastic
PAX
Unplugged. Thank you. I have to get that through my head. You know what? I think we should go again next year. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's earlier in the year next year too, November of next year.
Yeah, it's a little earlier, so several weeks earlier, which at the same time is kind of a bummer because then the Christmas Village won't be there.
Yeah, that's
Philly.
True.
Which I really enjoyed, the Christmas Village.
Yeah, I think we'll still have fun. The cheesesteaks will still be there, Sean.
Steve's King of Steaks or Prince of Steaks will still be there.
Well, yeah. So we'll. I agree. I say let's go again next year.
Absolutely, wonderful city, Philadelphia, and I've had an absolute blast being there. Last night, Tico, I don't know if you're aware, but there was just a little show on the YouTubes and on the internets called the Game Awards. Are you aware of such a thing?
All 18 and a half hours of it.
Oh my gosh. Can I just say right up front, I don't know why it's called the Game Awards, because there's more trailers and world premieres. There's more commercials in the Game Awards than there are actually awards. You know, it's more like a mini E3.
I'll be honest with you. I'm there for the game trailers. The awards.
Well, who's not?
It's neat, but I mean, of the categories of the actual awards, there's like 3 that I may even be remotely interested in the categories. I don't care who the best esports team was. I don't care who the best esports player is. Right. And believe it or not, I also don't care who the best esports host was.
Or esports coach.
Or coach. How is that even a thing? I didn't know that existed, let alone that there had to be an award for that.
Who cares?
Which is fine. That's what they want to do. They need to fill up time. But it feels it's an odd thing because you feel like they have all of these things here as filler in a 6-hour show, and then they just read them off and these were your thing, and then you're done 4 seconds in, you've just delivered 5 awards.
Yeah. I mean, the number of actual awards that were presented by a host, I don't even maybe 6?
8.
Was it 8 only?
I don't know. I
don't even know,
because a lot of them were and they listed off 4 awards at once too.
Yeah. But the biggest thing, can we just literally jump to the end? Game of the year. So Game of the Year was between Control, Death Stranding, Resident Evil 2, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate,
Outer Worlds,
The Outer Worlds, and Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah.
And when I'm looking at that list, I'm thinking Death Stranding, The Outer Worlds,
Control.
No. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice wins Game of the Year on the Game Awards.
Now, listen, I've played this. It is not an easy game. It is pretty. It is fun. I did enjoy the game. Did it bring anything to the table that I don't feel that I've done before in a game? No. Did it engage me in the story so much that I can't stop thinking about it? No.
I'd really, really like to know the criteria and what it is about Sekiro that secured it Game of the Year, because
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get it. When they announced that last night, I'm like, really? Seriously? Did Vin Diesel read the card wrong?
Well, I don't know why Vin Diesel was there in the first place.
Well, they were there to announce the new.
I know why they were there, but I mean, honestly, did you need two of them and their terrible banter back and forth? And
I listen. I didn't mind the two of them there. Vin Diesel and
Michelle Rodriguez.
Michelle Rodriguez were there. I thought it was fine. They're there. They were there essentially to announce a new
new mobile game, right?
Fast
new mobile game.
Believe it or not, it's not a mobile game. It may look like a mobile game, Tico, but it is an Xbox One and PS4 game coming soon.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious Crossroads coming in May. That honestly looked like I've got stuff that I play on my phone now that looks better than that.
I agree. That game did not look good at all. Like, is this really a current gen game? Like, I get the idea. I think the concept of the game looked cool. You know, like you're actually in a Fast and Furious movie doing stuff they would do in a movie. But boy, did that ever look bad.
Yeah, it did not. I was not that impressed with that. We did see some other cool announcements and some cool trailers of some stuff. A few that stood out for me that I really liked. Look at Maneater looks fun.
Maneater with the shark. This is something we've seen. Like, we saw this years ago.
Yeah.
Right? It's been in development for a long time, but it's coming out early next year. Was it March or May?
May.
I knew it was an M for Maneater.
It's, whatever 05 is. 05/2020, I think
so
it is.
That would be May 20th. Yes, okay. Yeah, that game looks fun. You're basically a shark that can just... You're supposed to eat people. You do as much destruction and mayhem as you can as a shark. You know, that can actually flop across land, too.
Yeah. I've seen it described as GTA as a shark.
See, that's just awesome.
Yeah, and it just looks fun. I'm excited about that one. What about anything that stood out for you as any one of the sort of announcements?
Yeah, I think I was really excited to see the re-announcement of The Wolf Among Us 2.
Oh, yes.
I loved The Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, I thought that was one of those ones that was dead in the water because of Telltale went out of business, and I was very, very happy to see that coming back.
Yeah. I thought the announcement of the Xbox System X, essentially Series X name, and seeing the picture of the box, that was exciting. I did question the name yet again, like when they announced Xbox One and everyone was like, what? Series X seems just kind of a bizarre name.
Well, so I was reading something on that earlier today. So apparently it is just called Xbox. They're dropping everything. It's just Xbox, and the Series X is the new model number.
Oh.
So they will be known, like, did you go out and get your Xbox, not your Xbox One, not your Xbox 360. It's just Xbox, and then Series X is like
the model.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. That's all right. Because that is sort of how it was displayed. It was just the big words Xbox, and then underneath was Series X, smaller letters. Listen, the box itself, I'm torn between that's a cool looking box, and that looks really tall. But I did read today that it can either be it can go on its side. And I was also told that height-wise, it's about the size of an Xbox One X if you stand it up.
You stand it up? Okay.
Yeah. So it is like, it looks cool. It's literally a box.
It looks like a PC tower. It looks like a PC tower.
A square PC tower.
Yeah.
So taller than anything else. And the top is got holes in it, and it looks like it glows green. At least it did in the video, and I really hope it does.
I hope so too.
I really hope it glows green when you turn it on. It
kind of looked like a square version of a Generation 1 Google Home. Like the size sort of thing. It's now it's like your Xbox little, like you can be able to say like, okay, Xbox, and have it do stuff for you.
Right. I kind of like it. It's simple, but
Yeah.
it also kind of speaks to like power PC. You know, it's kind of got that feel to it.
It, you know what reminded me of, like stuff like the Arrival and stuff like the image that.
It's
It,
it's
but
the
it did
monolith.
look cool.
It's the
The
monolith from
monolith.
2001.
Yeah, like it, but it reminded me of that. Oh, it did remind me.
Dum,
It did look like a
dum,
PC tower, and sort of in my head, my mind went to powerful PC
dum.
as a sort of thing to compare it to, and maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they want people to make that comparison to,
Yeah.
a very powerful gaming PC.
Gaming PC, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And then like almost immediately there was a trailer for Godfall, I think it's called, which
Oh,
looked
yeah, we
oh
got to talk about the what they teased right afterwards was the announcement of Hellblade 2.
oh my gosh. You're right. You're right. I knew there was something, I could not remember what it was. Hellblade 2, Senua's something or other.
Saga, Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2.
Yeah. My good. So we didn't know what it was as the trailer was playing.
I knew what it was. I was guessing as it was coming up, but you were like 2 minutes behind me, so I can't text you.
I know. So I'm watching this and like, wow, boy, does everything in that just look so freaking real.
It was,
Everything.
yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful looking game. And they said in engine.
Yeah, it was totally in game, in engine footage, and it looks stunning. You know,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, Tico. That's a launch title for the Xbox Series
yeah.
X.
And
We all know what that means. That means that is going to look old once we're 5 years into the system's life cycle.
Yeah, yeah, and that's holiday of
What?
next year.
That
Holiday of
blows my mind. Godfall was another trailer that came shortly after.
Yes.
That also looks pretty incredible. I'm not sure what the game is yet, but I was like, it grabbed my attention. And of course, the big thing at the end was said Godfall, PlayStation 5.
Yeah, very, very subtle at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Just PlayStation 5.
Yep.
No fancy announcements. No
Nope.
showing off their giant brick-looking thing that they're going to have.
Right.
There's probably going to be like a giant circle or something.
It'll be a
It's like,
pyramid or something.
yeah, it'll be a pyramid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. But just very subtle PlayStation 5. So I guess we have an official name now for the next PlayStation.
They announced the name. They
Oh, did
announced
they?
the name a while back. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not PlayStation Series X.
yeah. Well, it could be something. I don't know. Anyways, they've got that out there. Very, very quiet. I am looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. I think Sony's going to do what they usually do. They're going to sort of see how people react to the Microsoft brick.
Yeah.
One that they do, and if people make fun of it enough, they'll be like, "Oh, look at our thing! It's super small. It's the size of a dime."
Well, some of the nomenclature now already is just is sex. The Xbox sex.
Yeah, the XX.
X sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe PlayStation will change it to PlayStation Series P. Right alongside the Xbox there. All right, let's. You want to talk about any of the others? Sekiro also won action adventure game. Again, over things like Death Stranding and Borderlands. Control won art direction. I can see that. It's a pretty fantastic game, art-wise. I'm going to be honest, though. I didn't agree with a lot of the winners here.
Yeah, I felt that best esports team. Oh wait, so no, not that one. No, okay.
Oh my gosh, can I just say something though first? Okay, so G2 Esports, is the name of the team.
That is the name of the team.
So the name of your team has the word esports in it.
Yeah.
Who thought that was a good idea?
And other than that, they just added a letter and a number.
So in other words, it's like saying the Raptors should be the Raptors basketball.
The Toronto Basketballs.
The Toronto Raptors basketball.
Yeah.
Like, why is the word esports in the name of your esports team? I just thought it was the most bizarre thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care about esports stuff. I don't follow it, but I found it really strange that that was the name of the team.
Well, a lot of these are, odd named things. Like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at a few of these things. Like, the best sports/racing game. One category was Crash Team Racing.
Yeah, right.
Somehow,
Yeah.
the latest.
Well,
Need for Speed is pretty good. I mean, you have a ton of sports titles that are out there that are really good.
well, it
I know
is
you don't play sports ball. I know you don't play sports ball.
No, I don't. You're right, because it's sports/racing. Now,
Yeah.
is Need for Speed considered racing in this context?
Where else would you put it?
I don't
Esports?
know. I'm just speculating, but you're right, because Crash Team is sort of the same thing. It's just arcade racing.
It's Mario Kart. It's basically
Yeah.
like saying, well, if you put out a Mario Kart this year, you would have won it. That's what they're saying to Nintendo.
Should have
It's like,
done
hey,
it.
by the way, we'll hand you this if you like. That beats out like NBA 2K20 this year had a fantastic sort of RPG like story with what's his name, Idris Elba in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like they put a lot of effort into some of these sports games. The Madden franchise had a really good release this year. I know you're not a sports person, but like I've played the sports ones and like they hold up really well. I've played Crash Team Racing. I liked it. It was fun. It's an arcade Mario Kart clone.
Yeah.
It's great, fine. But
Agreed.
like to have that win your entire year's worth of sports racing and racing and sports games, it seems like an odd choice.
Yeah. Overall, Tico, I honestly thought the Game Awards were really long, drawn out, and I was by the time it was done, I'm like, finally, it's done. It
Yeah.
started at 8:30 with a pre-show, which, to be honest, was just the same format as the show itself. So how is it a pre-show?
Yeah, and they gave out awards on the pre-show
and world premieres. But it was just not Jeff Keighley.
At least the Gillette Shickhead guy
Oh.
wasn't there this year.
Why wasn't he there? But yeah, it started at 8:30 and it went to like 11:30, and I felt like it was just too long.
It was a very long show. I don't think that they needed most of what they did. I enjoyed a lot of the trailers. I enjoyed that Weird West game looked fun. I know that's you didn't particularly care, but I like the Supernatural West game. Gears Tactics.
There was some very strange games announced last night.
Yeah, that Sons of the Forest one.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't even know what consoles, like if it's consoles or PC
or what the game itself is. It was like, what is this stuff?
Yeah, there's some weird things that were sort of announced. A couple of League of Legends spin-off games, a lot of Magic, Wizards of the Coast Magic stuff. Gears Tactics looked cool. That Weird West one looked neat. There was some decent looking stuff. That's 9 to 5, a new shooter coming out.
Yeah, that's a weird shooter where basically everyone is a mercenary, but it's a corporate-run world, and being a mercenary is just your 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
So I can imagine some humor in that, like, it's 5 o'clock, everyone stop killing each other, and then you meet up with the enemy team and you go out for beers.
Yeah, because that's you're done work,
right?
There's a few things. Dungeons and Dragons: Dark Alliance, looked kind of neat. There's a few good things announced, but like it felt like a long time that we had to sit through a lot of stuff that was very odd in order for us to get to that.
Yeah, I agree. It was really nice seeing Reggie Fils-Aimé again.
Yeah, that was nice.
I'm going to be honest, though. Reggie Fils-Aimé, I think, was the most articulate host, and you could tell he's just so professional that he's not reading a teleprompter, or if he is, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, he's done these keynotes for so long that he doesn't have to, like, he knows what he wants to say, and he's prepared to do that. He's also not working right now, so he had plenty of time to memorize a speech.
Well, I thought it was fantastic, though. Like,
yeah, oh yeah,
it didn't feel like a speech memorized. It felt like him coming up on stage and speaking. And it felt so natural. Most people come up and they're reading. Like Norman Reedus came up and he was like squinting, trying to see the teleprompter, right?
Yeah.
But Reggie Fils-Aimé came up. It was just so smooth, so natural that it felt good to just see him on stage again. You know, yeah. So, any last words about Game Awards before we move on? We got 10 minutes to talk
all right,
about one
real
other
quick.
thing.
I did find it a bit hilarious. The one bit I can't remember. It was at the end of a performance or something like that, where they put the camera on Elon Musk, and
Yes.
he assumed that meant that he was supposed to stand for a standing ovation or something like that.
Yeah,
and they cut away as he was standing, but I found that to be very funny.
Yeah, he got like 3 people to stand.
Yeah, like he thought he started like he assumed that they put the camera on him because he was supposed to like stand up or something.
Also, why is Elon Musk at the Game Awards?
I don't know, because he's probably inventing a new, Xbox flamethrower.
Cybertruck with an Xbox built in.
Probably that's what it is. He's what it probably is he's looking for something to replace the Windows, and he's thinking of just covering the Windows with the new Xbox.
Or with AR. The Windows should be AR screens. That would be cool.
It should.
All right. So this week was the first 3 episodes of Crisis on Infinite Earths, of course, on the CW.
Yes.
A crossover, 1 year in the making, essentially. We've known about it for a year. And they've been teasing it. They've been talking about who's in it and all of these guest stars and cameos. And everyone was so freaking excited. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think all of that hype and preparation and excitement completely ruined it, because the whole thing, in my opinion, has fallen so flat. It's not even funny.
Yeah, they have taken so much time telling us like who all of the guest stars are going to be and the cameos and all of this. And I think that they set you up for something that you're expecting more. Are we doing spoiler talk or no spoiler talk?
You know what? This is the last thing we're going to talk about today on episode 351. So we are now going to go into spoiler talk on Crisis. If you have not watched Crisis yet,
put it on pause,
and you intend to, then now would be a good time to jump out, but don't forget, of course, you can follow me on Twitter at Ziontain. Tico is Mr. Second Place. Give us a like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter at the OMG Hour. There you go. That's our quick outer. From this point forward, we're going to talk spoilers about Crisis.
Yes.
So if you haven't watched it, thanks for listening. This will be your time to go away.
And then come
we
back.
Don't want to spoil things, but come back once you've watched it. Yeah.
And then you can hear all the things that we're about to spoil for you if you happen to be still listening now.
Okay, so from this point forward, spoiler alerts for Crisis on Infinite Earths. First 3 episodes.
All right, hang on 1 second.
Put it on pause for me.
This isn't a pause thing.
Oh my gosh.
This is a live on the internet thing. You can say hi to the internet.
Hi.
All right. Now you're going to be on the internet so you can watch this later. Now, what do you need? What do you need? All right. You clearly are just goofing off. Go back into the other room like I talked to you about.
Is it on pause?
No, it's not on pause. It's just really slow internet. All right. Go into the room and play Xbox.
Hi.
Hi, Leah.
Sean says hi. All right. Go. Internet. Go. Play Xbox or I'm taking it away.
Hello.
All right. Go.
Was that still what happened?
Yeah, I'll show you after. Yeah. So my wife is at a work function today.
Obviously.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
So Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
I am super disappointed. There's really sloppy writing, in my opinion. Like, really sloppy writing.
It feels like they've done these 3 episodes. They went through all of this running around and finding people and doing stuff that doesn't matter because
So, first episode, let's start from the beginning. First episode,
right.
There's several things happening. I think the first episode felt okay.
Yeah.
After I was done, I'm like, that was cool. I want to watch the second one right away. But going back and really thinking about it, so Lois and Clark are on they're on Argo. They've had a child, Jonathan, and everything's being destroyed, and they put Jonathan, for whatever reason, into a spaceship to launch him off to Earth. A la Kal-El. And
Yeah.
okay, so the neat thing about this is they actually said the actual lines from the original Superman. They
Yes.
spoke Marlon Brando's lines, which so that was a nice homage to the original Superman.
Yes.
But then they actually launch Jonathan, and he gets sucked into another universe, and they don't know where he is, and there's this whole side story about them going to find Jonathan. They end
Yeah.
up on Earth like 17 or something, I don't remember.
Yeah.
With another Oliver Queen whom White Canary then fights, and Lois just goes off into another room where they find, and says, "Oh, I found Jonathan." And then they leave the planet, and now we found Jonathan. What was the point of any of that? It added nothing.
Well,
Zero.
it showed you Oliver Queen with gray hair.
But oh, right, because he was in the future, too. It was Star City 2046.
Yeah, that was future Oliver.
But honestly, the whole thing about lost Jonathan, and going to find him with Brainy, there was 0 point to any of that. It meant nothing in the course of the entire story.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There was absolutely zero that did for anything. It just seemed like a lot of pointless little
all of it.
Fetch quests.
Yes, so
for a bunch of stuff.
We find out first of all, first episode, Oliver Queen dies.
Yes.
Okay. We knew Oliver was gonna die.
Yep.
We also didn't know it was going to be so quickly, so that was a surprise. So Oliver dies first end of the first episode. It wasn't as emotional as I think it should have been.
No, because the finality to it is not there.
No.
You're not left with a feeling of finality.
Well, here's why. Because the very next episode, Mia and Sarah decide, we're going to find a Lazarus pit. And all of them are gone from Earth 1, so we're going to find another Earth that has a Lazarus pit, and we're going to bring him back. And John Constantine, you're going to come with us so that we can restore his soul as well.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, we're in the middle of a crisis in which every universe known is being destroyed as we speak.
Yeah.
But you're going to go off on a side quest to try to bring Oliver back.
You know what? It felt very video gamey. Like when you're playing, any video game, and it's like you're about to start the final conflict, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Don't you want to, drop off those bags of wheat that you collected first?" It really felt like, turn in all your side quests first, because you're not going to be able to go back from here. And it felt like that's what it was. Like, we're going to run around and do all these side quests first. Like, the main story only continues when I decide that it's going to continue.
Yeah. And then there's Batwoman and Supergirl, who went on a quest to find the Paragon, who was the future Bat. So they decided to go to Earth 99 because they thought that Batman from Earth 99 was the Paragon they needed.
Yeah,
it turns out he was basically a psycho Batman, and this was Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman for the last 25 years.
Yeah,
on the cartoons. And so that was a great sequence. Like, honestly, the whole sequence was great. It was fun to watch. It was interesting. But ultimately, it, in and of itself, also meant nothing. Because we get back to the Wave Rider after all of that, only to find out, oh, my bad. Sorry, Batwoman, you're the Paragon.
Yeah.
What?
But you didn't become the Paragon until you had a conversation with douchebag Batman.
Right?
But now...
So... the whole quest was, we need to find 7 Paragons. Flash, you're one of them. Batwoman, you're one of them. Supergirl, you're one of them. Oh, by the way, everyone on this ship, you're all the Paragons. Well,
except for this one accountant from Queens.
One scientist, yeah. Well, this new guy is actually the new Adam. So Brandon Routh is leaving Legends of Tomorrow.
Okay.
And I believe he's going to replace him as the new Adam. I looked up his character name, and he takes on the mantle of Adam.
Okay.
So I believe the reason why they're introducing him now is because he's going to be taking over for Brandon Routh on Legends.
On Legends, yeah.
But honestly, everything they did just felt like it was pointless work. Nothing meant anything.
All right. A few other. So the Monitor decides I'm going to bring back the book of whatever it's
Oh, the
called,
Book of Destiny.
the Book of Destiny, which was So he brings that back, and immediately they leave it where Lex Luthor can get it. Number one, which is to me just seems like stupid. The Lex Luthor decides, well, I'm just going to take this, and even though I know what the severity of this whole situation is, I'm going to take this and travel from Earth to Earth to try to kill all of the Supermans in case they succeed.
Yep.
In saving the universe. I want to make sure that I've killed a bunch of Supermans. I'm like, but why do this now? It makes no sense.
Why are you doing
like Lex Luthor is not just like crazy evil. This is not the Joker where like it's like just trying to cause chaos no matter what.
Right.
Lex Luthor is very smart, and if he did this, he'd be like, I'm going to remember where the book is. I'm gonna, grab it after they save everybody. That's the turn that you'd expect from Lex Luthor. He helps everybody, and he becomes, it becomes a hero and helps everybody survive the crisis. And then he snags the book at the end and takes off, and they've got their next storyline on Supergirl. Right. That to me makes more sense than like I'm just gonna be a dick.
Yeah.
And do this.
And ruin everything. So like
ruin everything.
The universe is coming to an end, and you're doing this. Why? Like you said something really good in our chat earlier. Is Lex Luthor always believes he's doing the right thing for mankind.
Yeah,
right?
not this Lex Luthor, like the character in the comics, the character in previous TV shows, believes that his actions are justified, not as a villain. It's almost what Lena Luthor has been like in Supergirl the last few episodes. She's not she's doing villainous actions, but she believes her actions are justified and right.
Agreed. Yes.
But this is just like a dick move.
Yeah.
Like there's no point in this. This is like, like you guys are about to save my life, but I'm going to tie your shoes together before you go. Like why?
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Like, even from a self-preservation standpoint.
Yeah.
You'd want them to succeed. Why are you fighting against them?
Two more things that really stood out to me.
Yeah.
As I feel like the whole thing is just so poorly written. Now, granted, I don't know where things are going in the final two episodes.
Yeah, it may all come together, and we may be sitting here going, oh, well, that actually ended okay. But so far, I'm very confused.
So far, I feel like it's really poor writing. And they've shown a whole bunch of flashes to other Earths. So of course we saw Dick Grayson from Earth 66, from the Batman from 66. We saw the reporter guy from Earth 90, which was from the Batman in 1990. Robert Wool. Just as, of course, then the Earth gets destroyed. It was literally a cameo. Opening scene cameo. We had a cameo of Huntress from Earth 93, I guess. Or was it? I can't remember. From Birds of Prey.
Yep.
That was cool. A little bit longer. But the whole resurrecting Oliver, and of course then they had to go into purgatory to get his soul back, and he's going to be like a raving lunatic. They have to convince him of who he is in order for him to bring his soul back into his body.
And they went to Earth 666.
Did they really?
They went to Earth 666, which is where they found Lucifer.
Oh, is that where they found Lucifer?
Yeah, which makes no sense, because if they went into purgatory in Earth 666, why would Oliver's soul be there?
I don't know if maybe they went back to Earth 1 after that.
Oh.
I didn't realize that was the Earth they went to for Lucifer, which was a surprise. I didn't, because Tom Ellis denied that he was on the crossover.
Yes.
As Lucifer, but he was. So that was a neat surprise. Honestly, I'm going to say this real quick. I think all of these cameos should have been left as a surprise. They would have had way more impact.
Exactly. Once you see this, like, oh, instead of like, well, where is this guy going to show up? And then be disappointed when, like, Tom Welling, for example, where they've been talking about him being in this for months, and he has like a 40-second thing, not wearing the costume.
Yeah, and he's not even Superman anymore.
He's not even Superman.
But imagine had we not known that he was going to be there, and we get that, we'd have been over the moon.
Exactly.
Those 40 seconds, well, say a couple of minutes with Tom Welling, had we not known he was going to be there, would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, so they go to purgatory to get Oliver's soul. We're going to have to convince him. We're going to have to remind him who he is and who we are and blah, blah, blah. John Diggle touches his arm and says, Oliver, I'm your friend. remember me. And he goes, John? And he's suddenly back again. What? It took one freaking line from John to bring him back? And then they're about to leave, and some unknown person we've never seen before runs up and says, Oliver, you can't go. You have a new mission. You must do it. And Oliver says, okay. And that's it. He doesn't go back.
Yeah. One of the other things that really bugged me about this is the finality of everything. So, when Supergirl's Earth was destroyed and they, evacuated billions of people and everything like that, and you're left to believe that maybe now they're going to combine like Supergirl's Earth she'll have
Earth
to like,
One. Yep.
But then all of a sudden Black Lightning shows up and his Earth has been taken out and everybody's Earth's now taken out and stuff like that. So that none of this is serious.
Absolutely.
Like none of this, like they're going to get reversed because
they have to.
Titans has a new season coming out, so even though their Earth is now gone, they've got a new season coming out, so they have to get their Earth back.
Black Lightning has to get his Earth back.
Has to get his Earth back. Obviously all the Earths are gone, so something's coming back, but that they're going to be, each Earth is going to be coming back now.
Which means that by the end of it, they're just going to reverse everything that's happened, like the snap in Endgame, right? They're going to reverse it all. And it's going to be like nothing ever happened. And then I'm thinking to myself, well, that's just pointless because both Arrow and Flash, and we should wrap this up soon, but both seasons of Arrow and Flash up until this point have been dealing with the fact that this crisis is happening. Barry has been getting everyone ready for his death.
Yeah.
And then Flash from Earth 90 says, no, I'm taking your place.
Yeah.
And just takes Barry's place. And now it's like, okay, so everything you've been building up for the first half of the season on Flash now was pointless. It has no meaning because Flash didn't have to sacrifice himself as he's been preparing.
Yeah.
And then everything you've been working up for on Arrow up until this point is pointless if you're just going to reverse everything and restore all the worlds to their previous state.
Exactly.
What was the point of these seasons leading up to this? And what was the point of the crossover?
Well, that's exactly like we're now 3 episodes in and everything's going to get completely reversed by the end of it.
It seems that way anyway.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they are better writers than we're giving them credit for, and we're going to see something totally amazing in January. We now have to wait a month for it.
Yeah, I know. It's no different, honestly, than the snap in Infinity War, because we knew Spider-Man had a new movie, so obviously he's coming back. We knew Black Panther was getting a new movie, obviously he's coming back. We knew all these characters had new movies.
Yeah.
So obviously they're coming back. There was no, oh my gosh, what's going on? I can't believe you just did that. But I feel the same now. Because like you said, they destroyed Titan's world. Well, we know Titan needs their world back. They destroyed Black Lightning's world. We know that he needs his world back, or you've just destroyed their show. You know, and I don't know, man. Like, it's just like, if you just restore everything to the way it was, you are null and voiding this entire story.
Yeah, I so far I'm not impressed. I will say, did you see the trailer for Stargirl?
I did see the trailer for Stargirl.
That looks fun, does it not?
It really does. It takes place in the past too, which is interesting. It looks like it's taking place sort of in the 50s or 60s. So that's going to be interesting. Yeah. I don't know. I guess they can only cross over with Legends.
Yeah,
well, Stargirl was in the past. She's a Legion. She's a Legion member, right?
Yeah. Well, because it's supposed to be, she's the successor to Starman, which was cool because that's Joel McHale.
It's Joel McHale. Well, Stargirl has been in the show already, and it's the same girl.
Yes.
Which is awesome. Like, we're talking years ago. Yeah. We're talking season 1 of Legends that she was in as Stargirl.
Yeah.
And now they've managed to get her back on her own show. Same actress. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, it does. It looks fun, and I'm glad to see that the CW verse is expanding.
Yeah.
We also got a little bit more clarification on the Green Arrow and the Canaries. Obviously, Mia will now be the Green Arrow.
Well, we knew that.
Well,
Did you not know that?
I don't know. I just saw the name of it. I didn't know if they were.
Oh yeah, no, I knew it was going to be Mia and the Canaries.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, that is Crisis has been a big disappointment to me. None of it makes sense. Like, I feel like there's just too much random stuff going on that makes zero sense. And basically for 2 episodes, Batwoman and Supergirl just pined away on the Wave Rider and did nothing.
Yeah.
Like, literally did nothing for 2 episodes.
Yeah, they just hung out and were grumpy.
Yeah, exactly. And like, what? And then Superman. Brandon Routh as Superman. What a fantastic thing to bring back. And then at the very, very end, he gets erased from existence by Lex Luthor.
By Lex Luthor. And
again, like your point, why is he trying to ruin things when it's his entire reality also being destroyed?
Yeah.
What is his motivation? It makes no sense.
Yeah, like it made no sense because he even said, like, well, I'm going around to kill all the Supermen to make sure that if you guys save the world, that there's no more Supermen that I have to deal with.
Yeah, and I think I said this to you in our chat today. Let me look it up real quick because this is how I feel about it. Oh yeah. Here's what happened. So Lex Luthor essentially wrote his name in the Book of Destiny, which suddenly erased Superman from existence and put Lex Luthor in place as one of the Paragons. And all I'm saying is, okay, so some mystical cosmic book is fooled by Lex just writing his name over an ancient prophetic symbol.
Not
and
only
that's
that, but
good enough.
If that was okay, like he said, like, the Monitor said, oh, we can't use the book to stop this anyways. But like, why did they have to go hunting for Paragons if you could just grab a Sharpie,
right, and write your name on there?
It's like, who are the 7 we got here? Okay, yeah, who's first? Okay, well, and we're just gonna write them in,
right? Some
like, why do we have to go hunting for them?
Book is fooled by a Sharpie. What? Do the writers think we're stupid?
There's, a bunch of stuff. Like even the fact that they managed to make a Paragon detector for something. I don't know what a Paragon is, but I got a detector for it now.
Oh, and by the way, they're all on the ship right now.
Yeah. Like what sort of, like, I don't know, like throw some circuits together and it can now detect Paragons. Like it's that's like,
yeah, and they're all right here. And the result literally was, you're all right here on the Wave Rider already.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm disappointed. We'll talk about it again in the new year after we see the finale.
Yeah, in January we'll have a second rant session.
Yeah. I believe it's a 2-hour finale in January. We get the results. But anyway, that is it for episode 351. Check us out on YouTube if you're not already, at youtube.com/OMGNexus. Follow me everywhere as Ziantane, that is XIANTAYNE, and follow the show on Twitter at the OMG Hour.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Second Place. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. And keep your eye out for some of our fun board game gameplay videos that we should have coming up in the near future.
Absolutely. We're going to be working on them, I believe, next week. We've got some plans for that. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again next week.
Bye, guys.
This has been an OMGNexus.com production.